Welcome to Jerusalem. Welcome to the marketplace. We've worked very hard getting ready for the Passover in Jerusalem. Some of you have come to hear the stories about the Master. And some of you have come from Iconium, from Joppa, from Bethany, even Emmaus. It's different from the law that we were raised with, those who blow the shofar and wear the prayer shawl. They go by the letter of the law. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But he teaches us to love your neighbor as yourself. His words have changed my life. I've heard them and I believe them. And it's changed my life. And many of us come and we come with sorrows. We come with broken hearts to Jerusalem. And we're hoping for hope and peace and joy. But Jesus, he said, yes, he's brought peace. But sometimes it's interesting, he says he brings a sword. Because his truth sometimes divides. You have to make choices and you have to make decisions. Sometimes you have to leave mother and father behind and go follow Jesus like I have. But it's so worth it. And the Master's so kind. He comes by and he enjoys my fruits and vegetables with his friends. But I want you to be careful as you go through the streets of Jerusalem tonight. As you can see, the Roman soldiers mean business. They want power and they want the money to keep coming into the emperor. And the religious people, they're very upset with all the followers of Jesus. So this year, especially in Jerusalem, I believe it's a place where history is being made. And you're living in that time. Oh, the Master has done so many miracles. I've had a friend, and her daughter was like my daughter. And she was very sick. She was only 12 years old, and she lay sick. And Jesus came, and he healed her. And he even, the first time he performed a miracle was at the marriage feast of Cana. They ran out of wine halfway through the wedding. How embarrassing. But his mother said, son, they need wine. And Jesus said, well, what am I to do? And she said, well, let's have them fill the jars. And servants, do what Jesus tells you to do. So he just spoke over the water. They were filled with, the jars were filled with water. And he prayed and he made water into wine. And the guests were so, they drank this wine and it even tasted better than the wine that they first had. It's just that when Jesus does something, he does it right. And you're going to see him tonight with his disciples. Elizabeth, is he ready?
I've seen the Master. He's with his disciples.
Oh, you must take the guest. Guests, follow Elizabeth. She will take you to the Master. You will see for yourself what I'm talking about. Shalom.
Lord, are you going to wash my feet?
You don't yet know what I am doing, but soon you will understand.
You must never wash my feet.
If you do not let me wash your feet, then you have no part with me.
Or if my feet, then my hands, and my head as well.
Peter, a man who is bathed needs only wash his feet, for his whole body is clean. And you are clean, though not every one of you is. Do you understand what it is I've done for you?
No, Lord.
Just as I washed your feet, so should you wash one another's feet, and be blessed in doing so. I have eagerly desired to share this Passover meal with you before I suffer.
Suffer.
I tell you the truth, one of you is going to betray me.
No. Lord, who would ever betray you?
Yes, Master, tell us who it is.
Surely it's not one of the 12.
It is one of you who will betray me.
It's not I, is it? Is it I?
No.
Is it I, Lord?
Surely it is not I, Master.
You have spoken, Judas. Now what you must do, do quickly. Blessed are you, O Lord God, King of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth. This is my body broken. Take this and eat it. Do this in remembrance of me.
Where's Judas going?
To buy for the master.
Blessed are you, O Lord God, King of the universe, who brings forth fruit from the vine. This is the new covenant in my blood that is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. Take this and drink it. Do this in remembrance of me. Tonight, all of you will fall away because of me.
No.
As it is written in the book of Zechariah, I will strike the shepherd. The sheep of the flock will be scattered.
No, Lord, even if everyone else falls away, I will not fall away. I would go to jail for you. I would die for you.
Peter, I tell you the truth. Before the rooster crows, 3 times will you deny that you even know me.
No, not Peter.
I will only be with you a short while longer. And where I am going, you cannot follow. But you will follow me later.
Lord, you said we're going to follow you later. But we don't know where you're going.
No.
So how can we know the way?
Thomas, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except through me. And just as the Father has loved me, so have I loved each of you. Now remain in my love. Now it is time for us to leave this place, to let the Father's plan be fulfilled. Come, let us go.
They arrested him. Come quickly. To the Garden of Gethsemane.
Girl! Pick up these coins. All of them. Or I will hand you over to the guard.
Yes, Lord Caiaphas, as you command.
What a fool that Judas is. Not only does he hand over his Lord and Savior in a kiss, but for only 30 pieces of silver. But he was kind enough to return it to us. Did you see the look on his face? His demons are tearing his soul apart. I doubt he'll live here tomorrow. Anyway, this money cannot go back into the coffers. It's tainted.
Never mind the blood money. Now the Passover's here. Jerusalem is full of thieves, charlatans, and those who would attempt to overthrow us. And now this Jesus is challenging our positions in the temple.
I agree. Nothing good has ever come from Nazareth, and nothing ever will. It's bad enough the Romans had Barabbas in Pilate's dungeon, that murdering heathen. But now we have to deal with these followers of Jesus.
Not for long. Begin the trial.
Yes, let us see the Nazarene.
Guard! Guard! Bring in the prisoner. Stop. Messiah.
Lord Caiaphas,
Yes.
I have heard that this man uses demons to drive out demons. Therefore, I say, he is a sorcerer!
I know you. You're Simon Peter. You also were with Jesus of Nazareth.
Woman, I don't know what you're talking about.
And Rabbi, I've heard it said that this man can walk on water. Calm the storm with his hand. Raise the dead back to life again. This can only be the work of Satan's power to deceive the masses and turn them against God and our authority.
And he has said he is able to destroy the temple of God and then rebuild it in 3 days. 3 days!
That's impossible. Not only does he not have the ability to destroy this temple, but it took King Herod over 20 years to rebuild it.
I tell you, this fella has been with Jesus of Nazareth.
I don't know the man.
Is this true, Jesus? Are these accusations accurate? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you? He refuses to answer.
He bites his tongue, Lord Caiaphas.
You see, we see the sin of men every day. That's what we do. We judge people by their sins. I could point to anyone in this room, anyone, show you a sinner. But you, they say that you are different. Some say that you're special. Some go as far as to say that you have never sinned a day in your life. I find that hard to believe. A man who associates himself with liars and thieves murderers and prostitutes, never having sinned. Just who do you think you are? Do you think that you are better than everyone else? Do you think that you are better than me? I charge you, under the oath of the living God, are you the Christ, the very Son of God?
Yes, it is as you say. But I say to all of you, in the future, you will see the Son of Man seated on the right hand of the Almighty One, and coming on the clouds of heaven.
Blasphemy!
Blasphemer! This man should be put to death!
We don't need any more witnesses. He spoke it out of his own mouth. Get him up.
Surely you are one of them.
Your speech betrays you. May God strike me! I don't know the man! Lord.
All right, Messiah. If you are the Messiah, then prophesy to us. Tell us, who hit you? What are their names? Didn't think so. All right. You've heard the testimony. What's your verdict?
Guilty, Lord Caiaphas. He should be put to death.
You?
Crucify him!
Jesus of Nazareth, we find you guilty of the high crime of blasphemy against the temple, and for that you will be put to death. We'll take him to Pontius Pilate in the morning. You see, with Roman power now, we no longer have the authority to even put this man to death. But Pilate does. I have his ear. Anyway, we're finished here. Guards, remove this prisoner.
Jesus of Nazareth, you will die!
Hail, King of the Jews! King of the Jews! Hail, King of the Jews! King of the Jews! Hail!
Messiah!
Messiah. Every village has a Messiah. Tomorrow there will be one less. So what?
Well said, Lord Caiaphas.
Where's his kingdom?
Come with me.
Nowhere to be found.
Where's his army? Where's his wealth?
King Herod will receive you now. Move quickly. Move down. Show respect to your king at the end of the palace.
Not now, nephew. Maybe later. Leave us! The dancing bores me and no longer lifts my spirits. Dog!
My key.
Search the room for threats.
Search for weapons in the palace. Yes, please. How's the secure, my king?
Excellent, ladies. You may resume your post. Slave! More wine! Quickly! And for my queen... Leave us. Who is this Jesus? Is he a ghost of John the Baptist? Or perhaps a prophet of old? And why do they flock to him so? No, I'm convinced. I'm absolutely certain. These miracles this Jesus has been performing are some form of witchcraft. But no need to worry. I'll deal with him the same way I did the Baptist. Isn't that right, my queen?
How you dealt with the Baptist, you say? Well, clearly you have forgotten in your drunken stupor, oh pompous one, that it was I who dealt directly with the Baptist. I who had his head served up on a silver platter just 3 short years ago for your birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
And you were nothing but a coward, afraid of your so-called oaths and your honored guests.
Yeah.
I think you actually enjoy listening to that madman from the desert who dined on honey and locusts and then insulted me. And you did nothing to defend my honor or the crown. You're nothing but a puppet of Rome, Herod.
Well, perhaps, Your Majesty, it would have been better had you remained married to Uncle Philip.
Quite right, nephew. Had I not been so violently abducted...
It wasn't that violent.
By your dear Uncle Herod, I would be married to Uncle Philip. Your brother is a good man.
You know, I don't know what's worse. Your insult in the presence of all of my esteemed guests, or this horrible Jewish wine.
I assure you it's the wine. I've not yet begun to insult you.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of wine, slave, more wine! None for her. She's clearly had enough already. But more for my fellows. Now, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted?
Yammering on as always.
Yes.
You're speaking of Rome, Your Majesty. Yes. And this man called Jesus.
Ah, yes, Rome. And speaking of Rome, what is with this Pilate? He's become so bothersome to me lately. Can you believe that this Pilate at every turn attempts to make me appear incompetent?
No.
Only to make me appear incompetent to gain favor before the Jews? What sort of man is this Pilate? What do you think his weakness is?
Vanity, Your Highness. His weakness is vanity. Just like every man.
Vanity. Something I know nothing about. So it appears that this Pilate dare not judge this Jesus for himself, for fear the people will loathe him.
Jesus has fooled the Jews into loving him for these miracles he's performed and so-called truths he speaks. And Pilate doesn't want to be blamed for this wretched task of harming the so-called Messiah. And he's doing the same thing with this Barabbas character.
Yeah.
But in different reasons. The Jews look to this Barabbas character as their hope to kill their way out of the situation.
I like killing.
They want to control their own destiny and do it themselves and leave nothing to chance. Especially to this Jesus character who preaches love and peace, as if that would solve their problems. We need to make a plan and declare this Jesus a fraud and remove him from our jurisdiction and send him back to Pilate, because he is no holy man.
I have it. I'll prove this Jesus to be a fraud, and I'll send him back to Pilate to be judged. He'll have no other alternative than to perform his duties and prove himself a failure before the Jews once and for all. What a wonderful plan I've come up with. No, this Jesus is no king. I mean, consider the company that he keeps. Befriending these commoners.
Peasants.
I know. I'll have him turn this silver goblet into gold. No, he can't do that. Perhaps I'll have him call thunder and lightning from the heavens. Surely an easy task for a god. No, I have one even better. I'll have him turn you into a donkey, and we can ride you all around the palace. And that's funny, isn't it, my queen?
Idiot.
She hates me.
I agree.
Anyway, this Jesus is no Messiah. And certainly not a holy man.
Definitely.
Would you like the dancing girl, my queen?
Yes, nephew, I would. So be it.
Very well then. Let the festivities continue. Dancing girl! This one again.
I think she's lovely, nephew. What do you think? For now, she is quite lovely. And she's your age, dear.
She still bores me.
Everything bores you.
Yes.
Even you bore you.
Perhaps. Does this please you, my queen?
It does.
Very well, then. Leave us!
You're so kind to me.
Yes. Go!
Majesty.
Send word to Pilate at once. Inform Pilate that I have determined this Jesus to be a religious fraud. And as a fraud, he's no longer under my jurisdiction. He's Rome's problem now. Clear the palace!
As you will. The king has spoken. On your feet!
innocent. No. No! No!
Come quickly, the Lady Claudia needs you.
My lady, what troubles you?
I cannot speak of it.
Water for my lady. Again, my lady, what troubles you?
I've had a horrible dream. It was so real. But no, it cannot be true.
A tonic for my lady, to calm her.
Tell me, what is the news of the day?
The one they called Jesus of Nazareth has been arrested by his own people and sent to your husband for trial. They say he's guilty of treason for claiming to be king of the Jews, when everyone knows Caesar is king of the Jews.
It's just as my dream. That tonic is as bitter as my dream. I must do something. I will get a message to my husband.
Something to write with.
Write this. Pontius Pilate, Governor of Judea, my beloved husband, have nothing to do with that man. That innocent man, Jesus. For tonight, I suffered greatly in a dream because of him. This dream could it be an omen from the gods? Or a message from the God of the Jews? Go, call the guard.
Guard!
Yes, my lady.
If I go to him, will he even see me? Will he even believe me? This must be stopped. No, a message of this importance cannot be sent by a guard. I must go to Pilate myself. Take me to my husband. Brianus, what's the matter?
The city is highly dangerous at this time of night. It would not be safe for you to travel. These zealots are in an uprising. Many men have already died in this insurrection.
Who has told you this?
2 of the sentries guarding the dungeon said that your husband was in an outrage because his most trusted guard was killed. So for me to take there, Lady Claudia, at this time of night, and with these conditions, I highly advise against it.
Are you saying my life would be in danger? An innocent man's life is at stake. My husband is at stake. I cannot be silent.
If you insist, let me procure another guard to ensure your safety.
Go, do what you must.
Yes, my lady.
Come.
Clean up.
Do you think he will see her?
Yes, she was quite upset.
Do you think she has gone mad?
No, I think she's had a terrible dream.
What do you think of this Jesus?
In the city they say that he walks on water and that he heals the lepers. I also heard that he multiplied loaves and fish.
Sounds like witchcraft.
I don't know, but they say that he is the Messiah and that he teaches about love and forgiveness.
On your feet, Pilate, we'll see you now. Quickly, there's a light to be kept waiting.
They're troublemakers. Yes, they are. Look at this, Nefarious. We have 28 legions scattered throughout the Empire. 3 in Britannia, 5 along the Rhine, 9 stretched the length of the Danube, but only one legion here in this mud pit, sinkhole of a province, Judea.
Yes, and it's a 3-day march to Jerusalem from Syria.
Yes, it is. Pilate just had our heads when he arrived.
Hail, Pilate!
Now, they're not looking forward to seeing him. Some shock. Hail, Pilate! Welcome, Excellency.
Welcome! Dare to say to me welcome! I've already been forced to make an all-night ride from Caesarea a week before the Passover transit. It seems that Caiaphas and the Zealots are now controlling the city instead of Rome. I've had 2 assassination attempts on my life in the past week, and you say to me, welcome! How many cohorts did I leave here in Jerusalem to keep order during the Passover?
2, sir.
Where are they?
Sir, we sent one into the city with Druconius to try to put down this rebellion.
He's obviously devious, not being successful. What about the other one?
The other we kept here to protect Antonia.
Protect Antonia. Nefarious, how many years does it take to train a legion?
5 years, sir.
5 years to train the most powerful fighting force the world has ever known. We can conquer Carthage, Gaul, Britannia, Spain. But the 2 of you cannot, with 2 cohorts, keep together a bunch of religious fanatics because of one Jesus of Nazareth. My horse could have done a better job. And to further exacerbate the situation and add to our embarrassment, we have a most distinguished guest in our presence. To be honest, I did not expect him next week. Lucius Aelius Sejanus. I was about to introduce you as head of the Praetorian Guard in Rome, but I'm very well aware that we had a dispatch come even this week from Rome, saying that you have been levied a promotion by the Emperor. I believe it was Tuesday, Danus, was it not? Chief Counsel to Tiberius himself. You do us a great honor. I should like to toast you by quoting Tacitus, one of our historians, who recently wrote of you, the man that's close to Sejanus is a friend of the Emperor.
But the Emperor's not pleased. Word of the inept handling of this situation has come back to Rome.
No doubt by Caiaphas and his toadies. They've been reporting me for years, but let me reassure the divine Tiberius that by this time next year there will be no such ineptitude, because the 2 of them are both getting demoted to galley slaves!
The Lady Claudia seeks an audience.
Claudia, what brings you here this hour of the night?
Pilate, are you holding a Galilean prisoner within these walls? The carpenter's son called Jesus?
Yes, but I assure you it's no concern of yours.
But it has become my concern.
How so?
Tonight, I suffered greatly in a dream because of him. Pilate, he's innocent, have nothing to do with that man.
A strange thing, my heart. I'm not aware of any mandates or ordinances set down by Tiberius this week, where all of a sudden the Procurator's wives govern the province, Danus? I thought not.
Pilate, you condemn that innocent man. Roman justice will be dealt a blow from which it will never recover!
Enough! You go too far, Claudia. if this Galilean can even influence Caesar's daughter, he must be dangerous. Leave us. Now.
Beware, my husband. If you condemn that Jesus, it will be recorded throughout history that he suffered under Pontius Pilate.
Women's fantasies.
Yes, sir.
Simonides, you are a slave, are you not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Isn't the price of a slave in Jerusalem these days, a common slave, 30 pieces of silver?
Yes, sir.
Lucius Gaius Suetonius Divius, Tribune of Tribunes, Legate of Legates, Legionnaire of Legionnaires, Pilate's aide in my absence.
And ever your servant.
Did I or did I not hear correctly that this carpenter's son from Galilee, who feigns himself, and I can barely bring myself to say it, the Son of God, that he was handed over to the members of the Sanhedrin by one of his own for the price of a common slave?
Yes, Excellency, this is true.
I must say, as out of control as things appear to be, I couldn't have planned it better myself. But now Jesus goes to the cross, though I found no fault in him, and Barabbas goes to kill more of my officers. How many of them are not here tonight, Nefarious? They're dead! And you were close to some of them. You were on the stone pavement, I forget what the Jews call it.
Gabbatha.
When I said, shall I crucify your king? To which they retorted,
there is no king but Caesar.
Ah! Same Jews, when I put emblems of Caesar in their temple, they reported me. I said, see to it yourselves. I wash my hands of the blood of this innocent man. You know what they said to me, Simonides? They said his blood be on us. On our children. Gentlemen, we must ask ourselves the question. I fear that the fate of the empire hinges on our reply. What if this Jesus is who he says he is? Rome's days are numbered. My days are numbered. Sentry, show these people what happened to those who defy the authority of Rome.
On your feet! This way, quickly!
Pilate!
You! No water for him! Still alive.
This refuse is like the Carthaginians. They hold on to their honor.
That will stop! I would say it's a fair semblance of his Emperor Tiberius, would you not, Polonius?
I would, Excellency.
Have they talked?
Not yet. They will.
No doubt. But perhaps this would accelerate the process of persuasion?
The governor would know best.
But don't overdo it. They're no good to us dead. At least, not yet.
Up.
The hours pass slowly, do they not? How long's it been since they've had water?
Come nightfall, 2 days.
There he is. You're so inhospitable to our guests. Don't think we Romans aren't aware of the supply wagons you've been raiding. You see, that's how we caught you. We drug the wineskins. And even though that scum leader of yours, Barabbas, goes free, because that mob out there clamored more loudly for him than the followers of the Nazarene, your fates will be the same as the Nazarene, although unlike him, the two of you combined aren't worth the mud in my dungeon you contaminate. You'll make no cry, but you will. You'll cry for the mercy of death. You hold your tongue almost as well as I hold my patience. My young friend Arius, you are the bright spot in my day, and you never cease to impress me with, how shall we say, your ingenuity in means of persuasion.
The governor is too kind.
Something new this year. If my eyes don't deceive me, I'd say it's the perfect fit for a zealot head.
Yes. We torture them with their own devices.
Which they pay for, courtesy of Jewish taxes. This is curious. I've never seen one of these before. Polonius, what is it?
They were mocking the king of the Jews.
Enough! We already have an insurrection on our hands. This only makes it more inflammatory. Did you have the sign made I ordered?
Yes. Caligula, get the sign.
King of the Jews, indeed. Where's his kingdom now? You zealous live a dead dream. David will never return, neither Solomon or Hezekiah. Has the Nazarene been flogged yet?
There. They bring him out.
He's already received the fustigatio, a mild scourging we give to hooligans and scoundrels as a warning. About 2 hours ago, I was hoping it would pacify that mob out there, but it only made them clamor more loudly for his death. Which means he's about to receive the verberatio. Much more severe. Refresh me, Polonius. Some criminals don't make it to the cross because of the verberatio?
Yes, the same.
Has he made any cries?
He's made no cry.
Lashes?
$40.
You've been in Jerusalem too long, my young friend. We don't abide by the law of Moses. Lex Romana, law of Rome. Polonius. No limit.
No limit.
It will be. Whose rotation?
I believe it is curricula.
Ah, yes. Gaius Gracchus Curricula. Your reputation precedes you. The most skilled man in Jerusalem with a flagellum. And the most feared.
It would be my pleasure, Your Excellency.
Arius, I want him and him crucified on each side of the Nazarene. I want Jesus in the middle. Is that understood?
Yes, Excellency.
Make sure this sign is fastened over Jesus' head.
It will be done.
Caiaphas thinks we've fallen through his plot, but we have turned the tables on him. If one wants to survive in this world, they must learn how to look to the West, because at present, the world is Rome. It's a pity you zealots didn't learn that in this life, but perhaps you will in the next, which you shall soon see. Curricula, good to see you back from Syria. I trust you had a profitable trip?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Sentry, open up! Close the door.
It's time.
Curricula.
No limit.
Curricula.
Don't hold back. Open up. Stand to your feet.
It is finished. With those three simple words, Jesus Christ completed the greatest act of love the world has ever known. For during that torment and anguish, he took upon himself the punishment for all sin done by all people throughout all time. And he did it willingly out of love for you. You may be wondering why the people in this scene were dressed in modern-day clothing. It is simply to show that we today are no less guilty than those who 2,000 years ago nailed him to the cross. In one way or another, we are guilty of the same crime, and as such, we deserve an endless punishment. But the glorious and great news of Jesus Christ is that through his sacrifice, we may receive salvation if we will only accept and thank him for what he has done and acknowledge him for who he says he is, the Son of the living God. Remember the image of the crucified Christ and let its meaning sink deep into your heart.